Hello, beautiful people. It's Lulu. Welcome to the Lulu Essie podcast, where we do things differently. No editing, no polishing, no studio magic, just honest conversations that stay exactly as they happened. So, I have a little update for you. Remember last week when I talked about my foot surgery? Well, life had a little surprise in store for me. On Friday, I had to have a second surgery. They needed to put a pin in my toe and wires in my foot because the bones weren't quite behaving the way they had expected them to. And let's just say it wasn't looking good. At first, I felt this wave of disappointment crash over me. It was like getting dunked in the ocean. Water up my nose, sand in places where sand is not meant to be. Not a good look. All I could think of was, I've lost a whole precious week of recovery. I felt like I was starting over, back at square one. Actually, it felt like even less than square one. And that feeling sucked so bad. It really did. It almost swallowed me whole. But this is where mental fitness comes in. And it's not what you might think. It's not about pushing those feelings away or pretending to be positive. Mental fitness, at least for me, started with allowing myself to feel the enormity of that disappointment, to feel it fully, to acknowledge it, to say, yes, this sucks, and it's absolutely not what I wanted. And then gently shifting from being stuck in that disappointment to accepting what is. Not because it's what I wanted. Let me be very clear about that. But because it's what is. And this is where I want to talk about what mental fitness really looks like. Because it's not some Instagram-worthy morning routine with perfect lighting and organic coffee enhanced with adaptogens in hand. No, right now, my mental fitness looks like lying here, choosing, sometimes minute by minute, how I want to move through this. Mental fitness looks like focusing on my breath when that pain spikes. Just the simple box breathing that I've spoken to you about. And at times, even this has felt too much. So I have been focusing on just breathing in, feeling the breath coming into my body, and breathing out, feeling it leave. Simple. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just coming back to my breath again and again. When I'm connected to my breath, I feel more in control, more connected to myself, and I feel like I can cope way better. Mental fitness looks like noticing when my mind starts spinning into, why me? Why now? Or my favorite, this is taking too long. And gently, and I mean really gently, bringing myself back to what I can control. And sometimes that's just how I choose to respond to this moment, this breath. Sometimes that's all I can control. And you know what else mental fitness looks like? For me, it looks like having flowers around me because they remind me of the beauty in the world. Flowers always, always bring me joy. It looks like giving genuine thanks for every text, every call, every gesture of support from those around me, even when I'm feeling frustrated and scared. Actually, especially when I'm feeling frustrated and scared. And mental fitness even looks like talking to my foot. Yes, really. Thanking it for working so hard to heal, even when the journey isn't going as we planned. I literally put my hands on my foot, close my eyes, and I imagine golden light surrounding my foot. And then I just send it positive vibes, baby. And you know, there's something else that mental fitness looks like. It looks like being kind to others. I know this might sound too simple, too small, but stay with me. Sometimes, when we're really struggling, the best thing we can do is stop. Just stop. Stop trying to fix ourselves. Change the situation. Stop and just shift our focus outward. A random act of kindness to a stranger, a friend, anyone. God, it's like magic. And I'm not talking about big, grand gestures here. It could be as simple as making genuine eye contact and sharing a heartfelt smile with someone. Sending that text you've been thinking about. Telling someone why they matter to you. Saying the words, I love you, or thank you for being in my life, or you are a light in my world. There is no such thing as big kind or little kind. There's just kind. And here's the beautiful thing. We're all capable of kindness, no matter where we are at or what we are going through, or how much or how little money we have. We are all capable of kindness. Nothing is stopping me from sending a message of support, of love, to someone who's struggling. And here's the real magic. It works like a boomerang. When we lift others up, we lift ourselves too. It's instant. It's real. It's love. And sometimes that small act of giving shows us just how much we matter too. Be kind. Be kind. And I'm sharing all of this because maybe you're sitting there feeling like everything's too much. Maybe the holidays weren't what you'd hoped they'd be. Maybe they're exactly what you feared they'd be. Or maybe you don't celebrate at all and you're just tired of the world assuming you do. And here's the thing I'd really love you to hear, especially if you're listening to this alone or feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by people. Maybe you're in bed scrolling through social media, seeing everyone's perfectly curated holiday moments, and feeling like somehow you missed the memo on how to do life right. Or asking yourself, why don't I get to live a life that looks like that? My arms are wrapped around you right now. And I want you to know something. All those picture-perfect posts, they're just minuscule snippets of carefully selected moments. They're not the whole story. They're not even most of the story. And the dangerous thing, the hurtful thing we do to ourselves is to believe that it's the real, true story. Real life, your life, my life, is gloriously messy. Sometimes it's so magical, sprinkled with fairy dust and kumbaya. And at times it's just fucking hard. And mental fitness isn't about reaching some perfect state where everything feels good all the time. It's about building a relationship with yourself that can hold you in both the hard moments and the beautiful ones. It's why I love the term mental fitness. Thank you, Simon Sinek. If you notice, I haven't spoken about mental health. I've only spoken about mental fitness. Because fitness implies that you have to keep at it. You have to practice. You have to keep on keeping on. You're not fit one day and then sit on your hands for the rest of your life. Haha, no way. It's ongoing. It's back to that consistency I always talk about. And I promise you, the more you practice, the better you get. And remember, you can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, take all the workshops, but you do have to practice. Even when you feel like you don't know what the hell you're doing, just showing up is enough. It's enough. Sometimes mental fitness looks like crying in the bathroom at a family gathering. Sometimes it looks like spending the holidays, being brave enough to spend the holidays exactly how you want to, even if that means being alone. Sometimes it looks like ordering takeout when everyone else is posting their homemade feasts. And yes, on the lighter note, sometimes it looks like talking to your foot and imagining it surrounded by golden light. Whatever your right now looks like, whether you're flying high or you're barely holding on, or you feel like you're falling, you matter. Your journey matters, and you're doing much better than you think you are. I've been really purposeful about keeping today's episode shorter. I appreciate the time you've taken to listen to this. I appreciate you. And now I want you to appreciate yourself for being brave enough to show up, to look at your life, to want better for yourself. And if this has resonated with you, please share this with someone, or share it with many ones you care about. And let me know how you're doing. And if this has meant something to you, tag me in your stories. Send me a message on Instagram or via my website, luluessie.com. What comes from the heart reaches the heart. And today, this comes straight from my heart to yours. I'll see you next week, beautiful people. And remember, the world needs your humanity, not your perfection.